Hi, my name is Shanuthan Balakamaran and my student number is N0861987. I chose Nottingham Trent as my first choice university because of the quality of the accounting and finance course that was offered. I received an offer from the University of Nottingham also, however concluded that the exams that we obtained upon completion of the course, as well as the real world style of the course, would better set me up for my future after university. Nottingham Trent as a university offered me a different style of course as opposed to other Russell groups, and it led to me turning down 3 other offers. The city, whilst larger than Cambridge, did not feel as overwhelming to me in comparison to if I went to a larger area such as Manchester or London or Leeds. The campus had a modernistic approach when I first arrived, and I realised that the business school was one of the highest rated business schools in the country. I made it important to me, however, not to take into account the rankings too much, as I understand that quite often they're based off factors which are unrelated to my course. Instead, I focused on the elements which are most of my interest, and whilst I didn't get to capitalise on all of them, I found it really appealing to me, the opportunities that surrounding employers that Nottingham Trent offered. Question 2. When I worked in Cambridge, I had a very intense, high-paced job in which I was a relatively integral employee at an operation. After previously working as a punter at a punting company, I spent a year doing boats arrivals and boats departures as the manager. This was an important role which required me to keep record of the boats that had left and boats that had come in, and I would also let the punters know when they must prepare their boat and who's next in rotation. This would be completely reliant on me, and I would be seating customers in their specific groups on their specific boats, and I was the only administrative employee to take a customer's complaint in that area, or usually on that day. So if a customer had a difficult issue, for example, one that arose quite often was when we would have 10 to 12 boats leaving in an hour with 12 people on each one of them, with about 5-10 minute intervals between each boat. You'd have to let passengers off and seat passengers in the correct places. Quite often passengers may miss their slot, and it's not as simple as just replacing them on the boat. If there's not space, I would have to reallocate the space, or have to say that it's too busy and turn them away and ask if they could get a refund or if they can come back another day. This was never an easy task to do, but it gave me a lot of responsibility, and considering I was only 18 at the time, I kind of relished the challenge really. I got a lot of criticism for it, but the employees made sure to stick up for me a lot of the time. But understandably, paying customers were not always happy to move seats, so that was something I had to deal with. Question 3. I minimise errors in my work by proof checking whilst I'm going through the high mark questions. Rather than completing the question and being unsure of a mistake I may have made until the end, I prefer to systematically recalculate the most essential factors of the piece of work. For example, if I was profit allocating for a partnership and there were 3 partners involved, rather than go through the allocation and potentially have made a mistake early on and have to restart, I would systematically understand the areas where I may have made errors in the past. For example, if I'd reallocated in the wrong month or without the incorrect months, or if my allocations were in the incorrect tax period, I would learn from these mistakes. And I find often when I'm working on written pieces of work, the best way of minimising errors is to take time away from the screen and to take time to refocus and to come back and go over the piece of work I'm doing and look at it from another perspective. If I do make this mistake, I take it as a chance to learn from it and encourage myself not to make the same error twice. Thank you.